Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the 1987 Strat-O-Matic Super Advanced Replay American League. We are at another game on the May 5th schedule, Cinco de Mayo. Actually, the next to last game on Cinco de Mayo, the final game, will be Cleveland and Texas on that date, and then we'll move on to May 6th. But we are at the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome, Baltimore Orioles, Minnesota Twins. Both teams share records of 10 and 14. Not exactly a sexy pitching matchup. It's Mike Smithson, a right-hander for Minnesota, and Eric Bell, a lefty for the Orioles. Ballpark effects for the Homerdome. Singles, it really shines for singles. Lefties are 1 to 16, righties 1 to 13, homers 1 to 11 each side. Wild pitch and balk for Smithson, 7 and 7. For Bell, wild pitch 13, balk 2. Pitcher catcher hold +5 for Smithson. He is a +7, and Nieto's a +2 for a +9, but of course +5 is all you can have. Bell's a 0, Kenny's a 0, so he's a hold of 0 on that. All right, so with those prelims out of the way, let's get this ball game going as Mike Smithson will finish up the warm-up tosses. And Alan Wiggins, the second baseman, will be leading things off. Hello, Chuck. Good to see you. Second baseman Wiggins will lead off. Get the complete numbers on Smithson. He is 1 and 2 with a 3.77 earned run average, 31 innings pitched, 31 hits, 12 walks, 14 strikeouts. For Wiggins, he is hitting .208, 1 homer and 7 driven in. Hello, Colin. Good to see you. And we're underway from the Metrodome. So 211 for Wiggins, and that is a pop-up to the second baseman Lombardozzi. Easy out. 1 away. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Jim Washer and Dwyer. Limited duty, he's hitting .414, 2 homers, 4 driven in, and just 29 at bats. 1-8, but he's got a ballpark blast sitting him right in front of him, 1 to 11, and that's gone. Jim Washer and Dwyer puts this in the rinse cycle. A 1-8, look at it again. Ballpark blast, 1 to 11, that's a 3. It's gone. Dwyer, his 3rd home run of the season, 5th RBI of the season. So in 30 at bats, he's got 3 home runs. That's quite the pace. He had 15 and 241 at bats real world. That's home run number 3 for Jim Dwyer. Orioles jump on Smithson early. 1-0 Orioles, and that'll bring up Cal Ripken. He's hitting a total of .260, 4 homers, 13 driven in. 4-11, and that's a fly ball right field X. We're looking at Brunansky. He's a 2E4. So should be able to get to that, you would think. 2 and a 16, he does. E4 shouldn't be that much of a problem either. E4, and that is an 8. So let's check out the numbers on that. E4, and an 8. Nope, no 8 there to worry about, so it's good play for Brunansky. And there's 2 away. That'll bring up Eddie Murray, first baseman, cleanup hitter. Murray on the replay hitting .344, 6 homers and 20 driven in. 5-9, switch hitter batting left-handed. That is a strikeout. First strikeout for Smithson. But the Orioles are on the board, courtesy of a Jim Dwyer homer. End of half inning to play in Minnesota. It's Baltimore 1 and the Twins coming to bat. But the Twins will be setting their sights on young Eric Bell. And the numbers on Bell, he's 1 and 1 with a 6.65 earned run average. 23 innings pitched, 21 hits, 12 walks, and 20 strikeouts. Hello, Roger. Good to see you. I like that Detroit Tiger logo. Dan Mann from Gladden will be leading things off for the Twins. He is hitting .273, 2 homers, 7 driven in. against the lefty Bell. 1-7 struck him out. Eric Bell starts out his festivities with a strikeout. Gladden is out there. One away for Steve Lombardozzi. He's hitting 266, 2 homers, 9 driven in. 2-4 to the lefty, and that's a ballpark single check. 1-13, but that's a 14. So he's going to pop it up to Eddie Murray. Out number 2. 2 down for Kirby Puckett. And Puckett is hitting 311, 2 homers, 7 driven in. 1-2, and that is a fly ball to center, and that's going to end the inning. So Bell puts down the Twins. 3 up and 3 down. We go to the second, still 1-0 Baltimore. Mike Smithson back out. He can go 5. Eric Bell can go 5. They both have the number 5 for fatigue. So it might be a bullpen game before too long. Here's Larry Sheets. He is hitting a $186, 1 homer, 4 driven in. 3-3 for Sheets. That's a ballpark single check. 1-16, and that's a base hit. Base hit, Larry Sheets. Leadoff single for Sheets. He is not going to be held. Here is Ray Knight. 303 hit for 4 homers, 11 driven in. That's a 2, chance of a balk or a pass ball. We're looking at a balk rating on Smithson. He's a 7. And he will balk. So Smithson steps off the rubber but didn't do it appropriately, and he is called for the balk by the second base umpire. So a balk has been called. That takes the double play out of the order and puts Sheets in scoring position with nobody out. 6-7, and that's a strikeout, a big one. Strikeout number 2. Out number 1 of the inning, and that's going to flip it over to Terry Kennedy, the catcher. Kennedy is hitting 233, 8 homers, 17 driven in for Mr. Kennedy. 5-6, left-handed, and that's trouble for Smithson. 1-14 is a double. That's exactly what we got. It's a 2-star double, so the balk is going to produce the run. Had he been at first, he would have had to stop at third, but it's still going to be an earned run because balks are not part of unearned runs. So that is a solid double for Terry Kennedy. His second double of the season, and his RBI number 18 for Kennedy. Orioles now lead at 2-0. Tom Kelly not happy. Might be seeing some early activity in the Twins bullpen. Here's Nelson Simmons, right fielder. He is hitting 297, 2 homers, 7 driven in. It's a 2-3, and that is a pop out to second base, so Lombardozzi will take care of it. 2 down. Bringing up the number 9 hitter, Ken Gerhardt, center fielder, as they give Fred Lynn the night off. Gerhardt on the replay is hitting 228, 5 homers, 11 driven in. 3-7, and that's a ballpark blast. 1-11, but that's a 15, just a deep fly to left. And Smithson got away with one right there. Could have been a 3-run homer, but it just wasn't deep enough, and it was hauled in out there by the left fielder Davidson to end the inning. But the Orioles score a run on the Kennedy double, and at the end of 1.5, it's Baltimore 2, Minnesota 0. Eric Bell back out. Will be facing Gaetti, Herbeck, and Bernansky for the Twins. Gaetti hitting 273, 4 homers, 17 driven in. This is at bat number 100 for Gary Gaetti. 6-9, and that's a ballpark blast. And Gaetti, he just missed it. 18's too much. It's deep fly to left. So Gaetti with a deep fly to left. One away as it's hauled in at the track by Sheets. I'll bring up Herbeck. Herbeck hitting 311, 8 homers, 22 driven in. Lefty on lefty, 1-7, struck him out. Strikeout number 2 for Eric Bell. And that'll bring us to Brunansky, the right fielder, hitting 279, 3 homers, 8 driven in. 5-3 to the right-hander. Ground ball first base X. That's Eddie Murray. He's a 2E10. 2 and a 5 should still be okay, I would think. 2 and a 5 is, there was no real base to hold on, so that's not effective or not a factor. He's an E10, so he has to avoid 11, 15, 3, and 18. If he does, he'll get to the ball, flip it to Bell to end the inning. On the E10, that's a 13, and there is no 13, so it's good play. Murray will field it, flip to Bell covering, and that's going to end the inning. 6 up and 6 down for the Twins. We go to the third. Still 2-0 Orioles. Top of the third. And it will be the top of the order, Alan Wiggins. He will lead it off. 5-8, switch hitter batting left is a strikeout. So strikeout number 2 for Mr. Davidson. So that's 1 away, and that will send it to Jim Dwyer. He homered first time up, 3rd homer of the season. He is hitting .433 now in 30 at-bats with 3 home runs and 5 runs driven in. 1-6 has a chance for another home run, but not a good one. 1-2, but that's a 3. Boy, he just missed his 2nd home run. 1-2 is a homer, but that's a 3. Just a deep fly to right. Brunansky right in front of the bag. He makes the catch. And there's 2 away. Smithson getting away with some loud outs. Here is Cal Ripken. 4-10, and that is a ballpark single check. 1-13. That is a 13. Base hit for Cal. Courtesy of the Dome. He will not be held. And here comes Eddie Murray. Strikeout victim his first time up. 4-6. That's a 1-14 double. That's a double, but it's 2 stars, so Murray cannot get the run home. Ripken will have to stop at third because of the 2 stars. So 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs for Larry Sheets. Dangerous hitter is Sheets. Hello, Triple G. 1-3, and that's a ballpark single check. That's an 18, though. It's too high, so he will not get that. He will line it to 2nd. And again, Smithson catches a break. Orioles could easily be ahead 5 or 6-0 if the rolls hadn't gone exactly the way the Twins needed them to. They have caught some breaks. And it keeps them in the game. It's 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the third. Bell back out. We'll face Davidson, Gagne, and Nieto, bottom of the order. Davidson on the replay hitting .286. 1 homer and 2 driven in 28 at-bats. That's a 3-4 against the lefty, and he's going to ground it to Ripken at short. 1 down. And here comes Mr. Greg Gagne with the spoon. Gagne is hitting .303. 2 homers, 9 driven in. 310 against the lefty. That's a split opportunity. 1-7's a single. That's a 3. Base hit. Base hit for Gagne. He's aboard. To get the lead, needs a 2 through 6, but he gets caught stealing automatically with an 8. He gets the lead. He's going to go. He's a 15, but he holds a 13. 0 there. 1-13. He's going to steal it. And he's caught stealing. Boy, Greg Gagne got thrown out. That was not a good play at all. I mean, he wasn't even close. Must have slipped coming out of that sliding pit at first base and going to the turf. Must have had something going on where he got his spike caught in the turf or something, because that wasn't even close. Kenny threw him out by a mile. So 2 outs, bases clear now for Tom Nieto. 245 hitter, no runs, 2 driven in. 6-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. We're looking at Wiggins. He's a 4 E15. 4 and a 15 should be good enough. Second base, 4 and a 15 is a G2. He is an E15. He's got to avoid 14, 17, 3, and 18. And that's a 5. It's going to be a rare play, G2. I don't think there's anything rare about this, but we'll look at it. G2 rare play. Where are you? They're down here. Batter lines a shot that deflects off the pitcher. The fielder makes the play. Yeah, so it's not much. There's really nothing there. So Nieto grounds it to second to end the inning. Nothing doing. At the end of 3, it's 2-0 O's. Smithson now facing Ray Knight. Knight, a strikeout victim, his first chance. 5-9, and that's going to be a ground ball to second. Lombardozzi will handle it, 1 away. And they'll send up Terry Kennedy. He had an RBI double his first time up. 5-9, and this time he's going to strike out. Strikeout number 3. Actually, strikeout number 4 for Smithson. And they'll take it to Nelson Simmons. 5-10. That's a catcher X. Nieto is a 2E1. 2-19. That should be good all day long. Probably a ground out. We'll look at it. 2-19 from a catcher's perspective. 2-19 is a G2, but nobody's on base, so it's just a ground out. He's an E1. The only way he makes an error is on a 17. And that's a 15. So he got by with it, no problem. It's a 2-3 ground out to end the inning. So Smithson has his first 1-2-3 inning. Hoping that will inspire his team to get him some runs. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 2-0 O's. Bell back out. We'll be facing the top of the order, Dan Gladden. Lombardozzi followed by Puckett. Gladden, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Hello, Bob. Yes, and I got rid of whatever it took me almost 2 weeks, but I got rid of the crud, I think. Still have a little bit of stuff in my throat, but it's nothing like it used to be. 4-6 for Bell. 4-6 is a walk. So Gladden draws the leadoff walk. Now, Gagne got caught stealing last time, but Gladden's a whole lot better. He has better odds if he can get the lead. But he can't get the lead, so he's going to hold. And that'll bring up Lombardozzi. That's a 5-10 against Bell. Ground ball third base X. We're looking at Ray Knight. 4E23. 4-3. That should get through for a hit. Might even be a double. 4-3. No, it's a single. 4-3 is a single, but I believe it's 2 stars. Yes, it is. So that means Gladden's going to get third automatically on the single. Now we're checking for the error on Ray Knight. He's an E23. He's got to avoid 11, 13, 3, 15, and 8. I believe that's 18. Yep, 18. That's another 5. How many rare plays can you get? SI2 rare play. SI2 rare play. Batter hits a single with base runner advancing 2 bases. After the batter rounds first, the fielder throws the ball behind him and catches him off the bag for an out. Okay. Which fielder, I wonder, because it went past third. So I'm not even sure how to score this one. Left fielder Sheets could have come up and let's see. I have to be creative on this. We'll go 7, 6-3. How about that? Not very realistic, but hey, that's what the RP says, right? So I'm going to say he's out 7-6 to 3. So I'm not sure what Lombardozzi was thinking to be lollygagging like that. Gladden is at third base with 1 out. And the infield is back for Puckett. 5-5, and that's a fly. Center field B, sacrifice fly from Kirby Puckett. Finally gets the Twins on the board. It is now a 2-1 ball game. But now there are 2 outs with the bases clear. Here's Gaetti. 5-5 again. Same roll. Fly to center. Ends the inning, but the Twins do get a run. And at the end of 4, it's a 2-1 ball game. And now that we're in the 5th, this is the fatigue inning for both starting pitchers, so we'll keep an eye on both of them. Nelson Simmons will lead it off. Simmons popped to second and grounded in front of the plate. Oh, Simmons made the last out last time. My bad. It's Gerhardt that leads off. Gerhardt flew to left his first time up. 1-3. He's going to strike out. Strikeout number 5 for Smithson. And that'll flip the order back over to Alan Wiggins. He's 0 for 2. 1-7, making him 0 for 3 on a fly to center. Orioles have leadoff hitter problems all year long. And here's Dwyer. Homered in the first and almost homered again in the third. 4-7, but he will get a solid single. So Dwyer with a 2-out single. He will not be held. And Cal Ripken, the batter. 2 possible balk or pass ball. Looking at the balk rate again, Smithson's a 7. No balk this time. 4-8, and that is a fly to left. That's going to end the inning. So Smithson will keep almost full endurance going into the 6th inning. Still a 2-1 ball game. And Eric Bell will come out, and this will be his fatigue inning. He'll start with a lefty-lefty on matchup against Kent Herbeck, who he struck out his first time. That's a 5-11, and that's a ground ball first base X. We're looking at Murray again. Murray got Bernansky on a 3-1 put out. See if he can do it this time. 2 and a 10. He'll get to that. E10. E10 and an 8 and a 10 rather. E10 and a 10 is no problem. 11 would have been an error. So once again, 3-1 put out. As Murray will flip it over to Bell for out number 1. Here's Bruno. 5-11. Fly ball left field X. We're looking at Sheets. He's a 4-8. Not very good. 4-19 though. He caught a break. So just got to worry about the E8. Just got to look at the E8. And it's 3, 6, and 15 through 18. And that is good all day long with a 12. So Sheets will make that play on Bernansky, 2 down. And that'll bring up the left fielder Davidson. Five, 8, struck him out. Strikeout number 3 for Eric Bell. And I was expecting an explosive offense, and all of a sudden it's a 2-1 game here in the 6th inning from some mediocre pitchers, but I guess we got mediocre hitters too. So, and dice that may be favoring the pitchers. So Smithson, just one ding against him. He's going to come out and pitch the 6th. He'll be facing Murray, Sheets, and Ray Knight. 3-5 for Murray, and he's going to draw a leadoff walk. Leadoff walk to Murray. I am scoring the game on the Strat computer, so as soon as it tells me Smithson is tired, I will take him out. Here's Larry Sheets. 5-4 left-handed fly ball center. I'm sorry, 4-4. 5-4 left-handed is an in-home run straight up, and that's out of here. Larry Sheets. Look at it again. 5-4 left-handed. That's a straight in-home run chance. No questions asked. No numbers need to be rolled. Sheets has normal power, and that is gone. Larry Sheets just deposited that would-be Smithson pass ball over the right center field bleachers. Bucket, you just look at it. It's gone. Home run for Sheets, his 2nd of the season. RBIs 5 and 6. And the Orioles just extend the lead to 4-1. Now the Twins bullpen is up in earnest. Looking at the Twins bullpen. See who they, hello Dan, good to see you. See who they got. They have Juan Berenguer loosening in the bullpen to the Twins. Berenguer is loosening in their bullpen. Here's Ray Knight. 110, and that is a ballpark single check. 1-13. That's a 3. Ray Knight gets a base hit. Smithson is now tired. Terry Kennedy is the batter. They're going to go one more batter with Smithson. Go give him one more try to see if we can get at least one out this inning. Trying to give Berenguer more time to get ready. 5-8. Struck him out, but he is tired. Boy, he went one batter too many. He's definitely coming out now. That's a single 2 stars. Try to get one extra ounce out of him, and it didn't pay off. 5-8, and it's a single 2 stars off of Smithson, and he is out of here. And Juan Berenguer will be your new pitcher. Probably should have taken him out. Obviously, hindsight 2020, probably should have taken him out as soon as he gave up the single tonight. But was trying to get one extra, see if we can get one extra oomph out of him, but just didn't work. We just happened to hit that blue dot there. And so that's going to do it for Smithson. He is gone. He will exit. Juan Berenguer will be coming on in relief. Get the numbers on Berenguer. He is 0-0 with 1 save, a 3.68 earned run average, 15 innings pitched, 15 hits, 5 walks, 17 strikeouts. So Berenguer will be coming on. Smithson's going to go 5+. Did not get any outs in the 6th. And Berenguer will be coming on. Berenguer is a -1, but Nieto's a +2, so it's a +1 for the hold. Right now, the Orioles lead at 4-1, looking for more. 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Orioles. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Twins to this point. And Terry Kennedy steps to the plate. Runners at the corners, nobody out. The infield, actually Kennedy just hit there, so it's actually Simmons coming up. So the infield is actually going to play. They're going to play in. They're going to have to play in. They don't want to give up any more runs. They are playing in. 4-10, and that is a ballpark single check again. 1-13. That's an 8 base hit. Homer Dome gives them a base hit. That's 5-1 Orioles. Kennedy will stop at second. That run is charged to Smithson. And that brings up Ken Gerhardt. That's 410. It's again a ballpark single check, and again it's another single. The Homer Dome is giving up singles like they're going out of style. Back-to-back ballpark singles. Bases are loaded. Still nobody out for Alan Wiggins. I knew I cursed it when I talked about what a great pitching matchup was. That we would start getting 8, 9 runs now. Infield in once again. Still nobody out. That's a 5-9. Switch hitter batting left. That's a strikeout. That was huge. They definitely had to have that. Wiggins out on strikes, and here comes Dwyer. Dangerous Dwyer. They will play back for the double play now, so we can get a double play to get out of the inning. That's a 6-4, and that's an in-home run chance, 1-13. It's gone. Jim, Washer, and Dwyer just put Berenguer once again through the rinse cycle as he just hit a grand salami. Look at it again, 6-4 is an in-home run chance, 1-13. That's a 9. He has normal power. Jim Dwyer just clears the bases and clears out the Metrodome of fans. His 4th home run of the season, 2nd of the game. RBIs 6, 7, 8, and 9. It is now 9-1, 7 runs in the inning for the Orioles. They're going to bat around for sure because there's only one out. So I knew I jinxed it when I talked about how much I was enjoying this low-scoring game, and then all of a sudden now a team bats around. Go figure. Hello, alternate. All right, so here comes Cal Ripken. So I guess Berenguer wasn't the answer either. 4-5, he does strike out Ripken for out number 2. The ironic part is he could strike out the side. 2 down. And batting for the 2nd time this inning is Eddie Murray. He walked to start the inning, but he's going to bat again. 2 outs, bases clear as all these guys scored on the Dwyer home run. 7 runs in the inning for the Orioles. 6-7, and that is going to be a single for Eddie Murray. The hit parade continues. Here's Larry Sheets. He could homer twice in the same inning. It's possible. He could do it. Never had that happen before. If it happens. 5-5, it does not. He strikes him out. So Berenguer strikes out the side in between all that mess. But a 7 spot for the Orioles, and they take a 9-1 lead. And now we can put the finishing touches on Smithson. Might put the finishing touches on Berenguer too. I don't know. Let's get the final results from the box score. Smithson's going to go 5 innings plus, 9 hits, 6 runs. They were all earned. 1 walk and 5 strikeouts. Berenguer 1 inning pitch, 4 hits, 3 runs. They were earned. No walks, struck out 3. He's done. They'll bring in Keith Atherton to pitch the 7th. Eric Bell is going to come back out. He's got full endurance to pitch the bottom of the 6th. So he's going to be out to do that. So bottom of the 6th we go. 9-1 Orioles. Here's Gagne. 4-10, and that's a ballpark single. 1-13. That's a 16. So when the ballpark single is coming for the Orioles, the D20 is low. When it comes up for the Twins, the D20 is high. You explain it. I can't. It's going to be a fly to right field. 1 down. Got to bring up Nieto. That's a 1-4, and that's a ground ball to short. See, 1-5 would have been a home run or a double chance, but 1-4 is ground ball to short. Orioles just getting all the rolls that they need right now. And here's Gladden. Struck out and walked, scored the only run of the game. 2-6, and he's going to ground to short again. Back-to-back grounders to short. 3 up and 3 down. Talk about a shutdown inning. Eric Bell is getting it done. He's still got endurance to keep going, and he will keep going. He is not done by a long shot. So Keith Atherton will be coming on to pitch for the Twins. He'll be facing Knight, Kennedy, and Simmons here in the top of the 7th. And we'll get the numbers on Atherton as we bring him in from the bullpen. I really don't want to have another position player pitch again. That's getting a little old here in this replay. I really don't want to do that. So I'm hoping that one of these guys can give me some innings. 0-2, 2 saves, 4.96 earned run average, 16 innings pitched, 14 hits, 4 walks, 16 strikeouts. Atherton tonight, 5-6. That's a fly to left, 1 away. Knight is retired. Here's Kennedy. That's a 3-9 for Kennedy, and that is a split. 1-7 is a single. That's a 6. That's just the kind of night spin for the Orioles. They're getting all the right splits. Kennedy gets himself a base hit. Go figure. Here's Nelson Simmons. .110, and that's a ballpark blast. 1-11. It's gone. They get the low roll again. 1-11 on a ballpark blast on a 110, and that's a 6. It's a 2-run home run from Nelson Simmons. And now Atherton looking like he can't get it done either. 2-run home run for Simmons. And for Simmons, that is his 3rd home run. RBIs 9 and 10. He only had 1 home run real world in 49 at bats. This is bat 41. He's got 3 home runs. Go figure. All right, I got to fix something here. I got Ray Knight getting on base. He shouldn't be. So let me fix that real quick. I should have had a fly out there instead of a single. So let me fix him so I can get it correct on the computer. Good thing for the undo button. I forgot to put in the fly to left when I was playing the game, and then when Kennedy single, it got credited to him, and it just got all messed up. But Simmons' home run is definitely credited to him. It is now 11-1 Orioles. And Ken Gerhardt, the batter. 2-8 for Gerhardt, struck him out. 2 down. Back to the top of the order for Wiggins. 5-6, and that's another strikeout. So Wiggins 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. He's got the hat trick. And that's why he probably didn't stay around too long. He's just having issues after issues, hitting below the Mendoza line and striking out. But the Orioles put up 2 more. 11-1 is our score. Atherton will come out and try to eat another inning, save some of the bullpen. Bell is back out to start the bottom of the 7th. He's got full endurance, so there's no reason to not bring him back out, especially with the big lead. But we are at the 7th inning stretch. And after the way the Twins pitching has gone, I think I'm going to need a stretch. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely going to need one. So we are going to go to Take Me Out to the Ball Game. right. 7th inning stretch is in the books. And we are ready for the bottom of the 7th. Eric Bell, like I said, keeping full endurance. So he is, and he's obviously got a huge lead. Here's Lombard Dozy, who is 1 for 2. 4-8 for Bell. Struck him out. There's a dot there, but he's not tired. Strikeout is good. One down. Here's Puckett. 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly. Only run batted into the game. 3-5, and that's a single. Of course, with the score being what it is, nobody's going to run anywhere. They will not hold him on, and he's not going to go anywhere. Here's Gary Gaetti. 6-3, and that is a fly ball right field X. Nelson Simmons is a 4E16. 4 and a 14 should be okay. The E16 might be problematic, though. 4 and a 14 is an F2. But the E16, he's got to avoid 4, 6, 12, 13, and 17. That is a 9. He does. How about that? So even an E16 outfielder does not make an error. The dice are in favor of the Orioles in this game. No other way to explain it. 2 down, and that brings up Herbeck. That's a 4-7, and that's a single to left field for Herbeck. Puckett will stop at second base with the ball hit the left field and down by so many runs. That brings up Bernansky, so it could be that Bell's starting to lose it a little bit. They're going to try to get him through the inning. He has not hit fatigue just yet. 2-9, but he might now. 1-7 is a home run. That's a 20. It'll be a double. Double for Bernansky. Scoring is Puckett. We'll check on the whereabouts of Herbeck, who runs at 11. There are 2 outs, makes him a 13. He's not being held as a 14. The double goes to center field. It's assumed to go to center field. Gerhardt's a +1. So 11 plus the 2 outs makes it a 13. Not being held as a 14, +1's a 15. 1-15, they're going to send him. And he's in there. Bernansky will take third on the throw. But it's a 2-run double off the bat of Tom Bernansky. Now the Oriole bullpen is loosening as Eric Bell has now hit fatigue. Mark Davidson is your batter. Of course, the Orioles are going to try to get Bell that last out to get through the inning. But the bullpen is loosening for the Orioles. Davidson is 0 for 2. 6-6, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. That's Cal Ripken. He's a 2E20. Cal, a 2 and a 4. Let's see if he can get to that. Should be able to get to that, I would think. Nobody's being held on. So a 2 and a 4. Yep, it's a G3, but no, since nobody was being held on, he gets to it. And he is an E20. Got to avoid 4, 15, 16, and 17. And he does. So Cal Ripken makes the play to end the inning. 2 runs come in for the Twins. It is now 11-3, and that's going to be it for Eric Bell. His night is done. He's going to go 7 innings and get his second win of the season, barring a catastrophe. Atherton will come back out and pitch the 8th for the Twins. Gets the final numbers on Bell, who gets the win, or will get the win. 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. So definitely a nice outing for him. For the Orioles bullpen, Let's see who's the most rested. Maybe Tony Arnold might be a possibility. We'll see in their pen who has the best rest. Let's see. We don't want to use him. Arnold 161, Williams 15. Actually, Mark Williamson is showing to have more rest than Arnold. So, and Schmidt. Actually, it's going to be Dave Schmidt. He's the most rested. So Dave Schmidt, the right-hander, is going to come in and pitch the 8th and 9th inning for the Orioles. Dave Schmidt. No relation to John Jingle Jacob Heimer. Dave Schmidt. But first off, Jim Dwyer, player of the game so far. He's got 2 home runs and a single. He is definitely the player of the game. I know Eric Bell has pitched well, but you can't overlook this. So Dwyer facing Atherton. 6-4. That's a ballpark single. 1-16, but that's a 17. So how about that? He caught a break. It's a line out to short. We're out number 1. 1 down, and that will send up Ripken. Two 5, and that is a ground ball to third. Gaetti is there. 2 down for Eddie Murray. 4-4. Catcher X. Nieto is a 2 E1. 2-16. Should be a pop out of some sort. 2-16 is a foul out. Absolutely. Only way he makes an error is on a 17. No 17, so it is a foul out. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Atherton. They're going to see if Atherton can finish the game for him. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Score 11-3. Orioles will make a defensive switch and get Simmons out of there with this 4E16. They want a better outfielder, obviously. So they go to their bench. Do the Orioles. And they're going to bring in a much better fielder in John T-Bone Shelby. He will take over for Simmons in right field. So Shelby will get the call as well as Schmidt. All right, something didn't go right on this computer. Let me fix this here. All right, Ripken line to short. Murray grounded to third. All right, so now we're ready to make the moves. Shelby in right field for Simmons, and Schmidt takes over for Bell. On the replay, Schmidt is pitching 1-0, no saves, a 2.86 earned run average, 22 innings pitched, 25 hits, and 8 walks, 9 strikeouts. John Shelby is your defensive replacement for Nelson Simmons. So we get Nelson Simmons out of there. Shelby will actually hit third in the top of the 9th, but that doesn't matter. So right here, even though Simmons hit that big home run last time, 2-run homer last time, it's going to be Shelby, T-Bone Shelby. He is going to go into right field in the 8th inning. And Dave Schmidt. Schmidt is on the mound for the Orioles. Facing Gagne, Nieto, and Gladden, but we are in the 8th inning, so substitutions are certainly allowed. and probable in this case. So I think for Nieto, they're going to bring in a pinch hitter, Randy Bush. Randy Bush will hit for Nieto. So it'll be Gagne, Nieto, and Bush. Bush will pinch hit in the 8th, and then Laudner will catch in the 9th. All right, so Gagne will lead it off here against Mr. Schmidt. 4-6, and that's a nice hit to start the inning with. 1 to 10's a double. That's a double for Gagne. Lead off double by Gagne, and now here comes Randy Bird and Hand Bush. And Bush will bat for Nieto. And Bush on the replay checks in at 250. 2 homers, 9 driven in. Schmidt to Bush. 3-7 for Bush, and that's a walk. So Bush walks. Inauspicious start for Mr. Schmidt, and here comes Gladden. Gladden stepping to the plate. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. One 7, and that is a strikeout. Big strikeout there. Kind of takes a little bit out of the momentum. And that brings up Lombardozzi, but he will be called back. And they will pinch hit for Lombardozzi. Picking up a bat and hitting for Lombardozzi. Will be Roy Smalley. And then Al Newman will play second base. So Smalley, pinch hitter here in the 8th. And then in the 9th, playing second base will be Newman. All right, so that leaves Mark Salas, the only bench player remaining. So Smalley it is, pinch hitter Roy Smalley with 2 on and 1 out. Get the numbers on Smalley. Smalley checks in, hitting 226, no homers, 10 driven in. Was a 275 hitter real world. 4-6, and that's trouble. 1 to 8's a double. Anything else is a single. That's a double, 2 stars. Pinch hit double for Roy Smalley. Pinch hit double for Roy Smalley. That will score Gagne. They will stop Bush at third base, being down by so many runs. So the run is in. Schmidt has only gotten 1 out so far. Smalley will leave, and Newman will run for Smalley at second base and stay in the game to play second. But Newman runs much better than Smalley does. So he's in there to pinch run. Here's Puckett. Infield back. They need outs. 3-6 for Puckett. 1 to 8's a single. That's a 12, though. He lines it to short. So there you go. Again, the dice just not adding up for the Twins. At least not most of the time. Lines it to short for 2 outs. Hello, Dan. Mr. Douglas, good to see you. Sorry it was not a closer game. Here's Gaetti. 3-run homer here. Could make it interesting, though. 4-10, and that's a ground ball third base X. That's going to be Mr. Knight. He's a 4E23. That can give you some problems, too, perhaps. 4 and a 4, it certainly does. That's going to get through for a base hit. Probably single 2 stars, which it is. That means both runners will score. 3 runs are in this inning for the Twins. They have now cut the lead to 11 to 6. But now we're going to check for an error on Knight. His error rating is an E23. He's got to avoid 11, 13, 3, 15, and 18. And he does, but the double is good by Gaetti, or single rather, 2 stars, good for Gaetti. 3 runs are in. It's 11 to 6. And that brings up Herbeck. Two outs and a runner at first. 4-7, and that's a single to center field. So the hit parade continues against Smithson. I'm sorry, against Schmidt. He just doesn't seem like he doesn't have it either. But since they have a big lead, they're going to try to get him through the inning if they can. Here's Brunansky. Although a long ball here makes it 11 to 9. And it gets way more interesting than they really want. 1-6, but it's a 1 to 9 single. That is a 9. It's a single, but it's only 1 star. It's going to load the bases. And that's going to be it for Schmidt. They cannot go any further with Schmidt. The bases are now loaded with 2 outs. Schmidt's going to make it 2/3 of an inning, but that's going to be it. Mark Davidson's going to come up with the bases loaded. Schmidt's going to go 2/3 of an inning. I'll figure out everything else later. But the Orioles need a new pitcher because Schmidt just didn't have it. So they will go to Mark Williamson out of the bullpen. Mark Williamson looking to get out of this inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Get the numbers on Williamson. Williamson in relief. And on the season replay, Williamson is 0-1 with 2 saves, a 4.64 earned run average, 21 innings pitched, 22 hits, 3 walks, and 13 strikeouts. And Mark Davidson up with 2 outs and the bases loaded. 11 to 6, 1 long ball, and it's a 1-run game. Even a base hit makes it interesting. 6-6, and he just did a base hit for sure. 1 to 6 is a double. That's an 11. It's a single 2 stars. 2 runs will score. And now the Twins will bat around. I know I cursed it back here when it was 2-1 after 5 innings. I was talking about how I love the pitching duel. And now we have 2 innings in the same game later on where they bat around. Go figure. Brunansky will take third. 2-run single for Davidson. It's now 11 to 8. And Greg Gagne, who started the inning with a double, will step up to bat again. Gagne, chance to do some damage. 4-10. That's a fly ball fly ball center field X. We're looking at Gerhardt. He's a 3E10. 3 and a 6. He probably gets to that, but the E10 can be questionable. 3 and a 6. No, he does not get to it. A 3 and a 6 is an SI2. Look at that. 3 and a 6 is an SI2. E10, he's got to avoid 3, 14, 3, 4, 14, and 16. And he does that, but it's a single 2 stars. That's going to score yet another run. Davidson will move to third. Gagne has singled and doubled in the same inning. And now the Twins have put 6 runs on the board to make it 11 to 9. Tying runners at the plate. Randy Bush, the pinch hitter, he's going to pinch hit twice in the same inning. How many times does that happen? He pinch hit for Nieto and drew a walk, and he's up to pinch hit again because he didn't lose his turn. Williamson now trying to get that third out. 5-4, and that's a line out to first base, and they finally get the out. But a 6-run inning for the Twins. And for the few faithful that are still at the Metrodome, they still have hope. It's 11-9. We go to the ninth. Laudner will take over as catcher for Nieto, who got pinch hit for twice by Bush. And Jeff Reardon is going to come in and pitch the ninth for the Twins. He hasn't pitched in a while, so they need to get him some work anyway. And they have a chance to keep the game close against a weak Oriole bullpen, so why not? Also going in at second base will be Al Newman. So Reardon comes in. He's 1-1 with 2 saves, a 4 ERA of 4 even. 9 innings pitched, 9 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. But you notice he had 9 innings pitched. A lot of these other pitchers are in their 20s as far as innings go. So he just hasn't pitched that much because the Twins haven't played a lot of close games. They've either been blown out or blowing other teams out. So now we got a chance to bring Reardon in to see if he can keep the game reasonably close. So Reardon is on 11-9. And we got to get I want to get the final numbers on Atherton and on Schmidt. So we go to the Strat computer for that. Clean up those numbers. Get everything nice and tidy on the score sheet. Schmidt's going to go 2/3 of an inning, give up 5 hits and 6 runs all earned. That will certainly do a number on his ERA, a walk and a strikeout. For Atherton, he's going to go 2 innings, give up 2 hits and 2 runs, which were earned, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Williamson, of course, is going to still pitch the ninth, and Reardon's going to pitch the ninth here, so can't close those out or get the final numbers on them because they're still going. So Larry Sheets will lead things off for the Orioles. It'll be Sheets, Knight, and Kennedy due up for the Orioles. Sheets will lead it off against Reardon. Top of the ninth. 11-9. 11 runs, 16. I'm sorry, 11 runs, 15 hits. Is it 15 or 16? 11 runs, 15 hits for the Orioles. 9 runs, 12 hits for the Twins. 6-4 against Reardon, and that's a walk. Not what Reardon wanted. He's going to walk Larry Sheets, and Sheets might be coming out for a defensive replacement. We'll see who the Orioles have left on the bench, who they might want to turn to. They don't have a whole lot on the bench, actually. No, he's gonna actually stay in the game. Sheets will stay in the game. So Ray Knight, the batter. Now, when Ray Knight comes out, they're going to substitute him defensively in the ninth for Rene Gonzalez because they don't like that 4E23. But they're going to let Knight hit. Knight will hit against Reardon. 1-6, and he's going to hit a ground ball shortstop A, double play. 6-4-3 double play. That's it for Knight. He's going to leave, and Rene Gonzalez will take over at third base in the ninth. A little bit better defensive player. So 2 quick outs on that 5-4-3 double play. And with 2 outs, here's Terry Kennedy. He's actually 3 for 4 in this game. 3-11. He pops it up to third. And that's going to end the inning. So Reardon pitches 1 shutout inning in relief. We go to the ninth. We do go to the ninth. Williamson back out, trying to close it out. And he'll be facing top of the order, Gladden, and then Newman and Puckett. It'll be Gladden, Newman, and Puckett. Newman's going to have to bat because they don't have anybody else to play second base for Newman. So Newman will have to do the batting. But it's Gladden, Newman, and Puckett here in the bottom of the ninth. An 11-9 ball game. And let's see who the Orioles have left in the bullpen. Well, first of all, we're going to put Gonzalez at third. We need to do that. Don't want to forget to do that. Gonzalez is going to now be at third base for Ray Knight. Fred Lynn is not on the roster, so I'm not sure if he's injured, just day to day or whatever the case may be, but he's not on the Strat-O-Matic roster. I'm looking at my transactions that I printed off from Diamond Mine. It does not show Lynn is hurt. It could just be he's day to day or something because he's not listed on the Strat computer as being available. So bottom of the ninth we go, 11-9, and Dan Gladden, the batter, facing Mark Williamson. If the Orioles want to bring in anybody else in relief, they just don't have much. They got Tony Arnold and Mike Kanunen, and both of those guys are pretty bad. So Williamson's their best hope. 2-4 for Gladden, and he's going to line it to the new third baseman, Rene Gonzalez. I'll tell you, bring a new player in defensively, and the ball will find you. Liner to third. Gonzalez is right there to snag it. One down for Al Newman. And this will be Newman's first at bat of the game. He's hitting .267. No homers, 5 driven in. 1-6, and he's going to ground it to Murray. Takes to the bag himself. 2 down. But now the big boys are coming up. Puckett, Gaetti, and Herbeck. So if Puckett reaches, then Gaetti will be the tying run. But Puckett's got to get on first. 2-4. He does not. He grounds it to Gonzalez at third. And the ball game is over. Orioles hang on and win it 11-9. Winning pitcher is Bell. He's now 2-1 with the win. Losing pitcher is Smithson. He is now 1-3. Reardon's going to go 1 inning, give up a walk, nothing else. And Williamson came in here. Two singles. He went 1 1/3, gave up 2 hits, but nothing else. No walks, no strikeouts. All right, so 11 runs, 15 hits, and no errors for the Orioles. 9 runs, 12 hits, and no errors for the Twins. Let's go to the box score and get the other official numbers just to close this thing out. Left on base, Orioles 5, Twins only left on 3, so neither team left on a lot of base runners. Home runs in the game, Jim Dwyer hit 2, his third and his fourth. Larry hit his second, and Nelson Simmons hit his third. Player of the game, Jim Dwyer, he went 3 for 5 with 2 homers and 5 runs batted in. I don't think there's a whole lot of discussion about him not being the player of the game. So the Orioles improved to 11-14. The Twins dropped to 10-15. And the final game of the Cinco de Mayo block will be in the heart of Texas. It's the Cleveland Indians and the Texas Rangers. Greg Swindell for the Tribe and Mike Mason for the Rangers. A couple of lefties. That will be next on the Strat-O-Matic docket. Tomorrow night will most likely be the inside pitch, 1977, Atlanta Braves and Houston Astros, Andy Messersmith against J.R. Richard. But game 175 on the season replay is in the books, and it belongs to the Orioles as they take an 11-1 lead, give up 8 unanswered, but it wasn't enough. They held on to win it by the score of 11-9. So I do appreciate all you guys hanging out with me and getting me through this game and sticking with me through the blowout and whatnot. And Hopefully you enjoyed that presentation of Strat-O-Matic. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.